How you doing, YouTube? It's Will from Middle Development. This is my 296th weekly update. So, this week we are back in the gym, finally, and going to be working on some programming this weekend and probably the following weekend. Still trying to get my, I don't know, they usually say sea legs, but I guess my gym legs about me. In the next week, well, I guess I should say this previous week and the following week we'll be treating it as such, but I do know that I'm probably still going to stick to legs twice a week and upper body twice a week because that seems to do pretty well. The only difference with training at the gym versus training at home, well, there's a few differences, but a big difference is definitely the sort of time portion of things, whereas training from home, I mean, I could stay here and just train as long as I wanted, and it didn't really matter because I would just walk back inside and I was home, and I can get everything done for the night before, for the next morning, that sort of thing. Whereas training at the gym, you know, I get there at 6-ish. By the time I actually get going, it's already 6:30. I have time for maybe one main movement a day, and then maybe two main movements, and then it's 7:15. You know, I have 15 minutes for accessories, which is enough time. I mean, you know, it's not to say it's not enough time to get everything done, but given that there's other people there, there's distractions, you know, these are all obviously excuses of mine that I'm using, but there's definitely some time management things I could work on. But one of the trade-offs is that I'll probably be going 5 days a week like I was in the past, which means even if I only get one accessory thing done that night, you know, let's say it's Monday, I can do the other accessories I had planned the Thursday, and then Tuesday and Friday, same thing, one main movement, one accessory sort of set or circuit, and then Saturday I can use to make up for all the time that I didn't have, you know, do like two main movements on a minor thing, and then two sets of accessory things to go with it. So every week I'm still getting more and more work done, it's just putting it in different places, so to speak. So that's sort of the plan moving forward, and how I'll be sort of programming around that sort of mentality of using Saturday as more of an accessory day, which I believe in the past is what I've done. I'd have to go back and, you know, make sure, but I think I've spoken about that, and that was kind of how I did things before. So that being said, this week I managed to grab two things of footage for my TWO video. I am planning on bringing those back to a greater capacity in the coming weeks, meaning at least four days worth of footage, or I should say 4 different, you know, training sessions worth of footage. This week only managed to grab 2, just because, like I said, it's you know, the first week back, so it's, you know, it wasn't the first thing on my mind. Let's just put it that way. Monday went okay. Still pulled my 385 deadlift as my base. Did some Zerchers, and I haven't done back squats for a couple weeks now. My back's been feeling really good. My hip's been feeling really good. Doing more single leg stuff, and I plan on doing even more. I was planning on doing some leg press stuff too, just because it's something that I can still transfer over to a standard squat to an extent, at least using my legs bilaterally. Is that the right word? Using both my legs at the same time to move heavier weight, much more than I'm capable of on, say, a front squat or a Zercher style squat, which is just another form of a front squat, really. But I just feel that the Zercher transfers over to strongman maybe a little bit better, just because it's very similar to a stone movement or even a log clean. I think those movements seem to transfer pretty well. But one of the things that's cool that I can do with the Zercher squat is I can bring my feet more narrow, and I can also sit in the bottom and force some more ankle flexibility out of it, which is good, something I definitely need. And I think once I move back to back squatting, which will probably be in a couple weeks, it just won't be to a heavy capacity. I have this theory that a big part of my problem is some of the flexibility in my ankles is preventing me from getting into better positioning for my hips and back, and that's part of what contributes to the pain I seem to experience while doing back squatting. So my theory is get some more ankle flexibility, slowly transition into back squatting while also still doing Zercher squats, and go from there and see how everything turns out. So we'll see. And so that's what I did Monday. I did a bunch of Zerchers and a bunch of lunges. Nothing noteworthy. Tuesday, did clean and press from the floor, since I usually clean from the floor anyway, but you get the idea. I haven't actually cleaned since the gyms had been shut down, so I was slightly nervous with how it was going to go, but honestly, when I hit the 150 as a warm-up, and the weight just flew right up and it felt easy to clean, I was like, cool, I haven't lost that yet, so that's good. Ended up going, and then I did, I think, 3 sets of 5 at 165, and that was push pressing. And my plan was to push press that day and then strict press today, being Friday. And did 3 sets of 5 at 165, and then went up to 185, just because that's my base that I want to hit every time. And went to 185, and I did the one, and I was like, man, honestly, that didn't feel too bad. And I said, you know what, I want to get another. Went for it, missed it at first, and then kind of fixed myself, and then went for it again, and I actually got it. So that was 185 for 2, which is technically a PR. Sorta. It's a PR with that exact weight. I've done 195 for 2, so it's not necessarily a weight PR, but it's a rep PR with that weight. So, which is a funny feeling since I've done more weight for the same amount of reps. But regardless, it was a good way to come back to that particular movement. And then Thursday went a little heavier on Zercher squats with a little extra set. I think I've worked up to like one. The bar is only 20 pounds, so it's like 115, and then I guess it was like 145, maybe 155 for sets of 5, at least 4 sets and I did them in a circuit along with lunges with like 90 pounds, well, 45 hand, for 10 reps on each leg, walking lunges, and then I did some deadlifts. I was planning on doing a little more rep work, but it was so hot, and I was starting to feel like, oh, I don't know about this. So I just went up to my 385, and I hit that for a single. And I think I gave myself like an 8.1 out of 10. Could have been tighter. It could always be tighter probably, but the speed was really good on it. Still getting used to deadlift bars, man. They still throw me for a loop. Then today, the plan was to hit some strict pressing, and I actually took the day off of work today, just because I had some vacation to burn before June, and I was outside working on stones, filming some videos, and it was so hot today, it just drained everything out of me, and I was out there so late, I didn't actually eat until like 3:30, almost 4, and then an hour and a half later, I'm going to the gym, and I was dehydrated, and just everything was wrong. I slept terribly last night. I went to bed relatively okay time, had no alarm set, still woke up at like 6, and I was like, are you kidding me? So it was kind of a wash today. So, and that's another reason why I'm like, I'm not back in yet. That's why, I'm like, my routine's not quite back in yet. And I just sort of, I did a little bit of, I got up to like a push press of like 170, which just felt awful and had no power in it. And I was like, you know what? Let's just take it off. My head is pounding. It still kind of is like a little, I got super dehydrated out there working. And it just, man, that sun just beat me down. And so I said, you know what? Today's a wash. I'll try again tomorrow to just do what I planned today, and we'll go from there. And so that's where I'm at right now. That's about it. We're getting closer to the stone video coming out. I think this week is the week I can work on my other project. I think my 28 days is up finally. And I have Monday off too, so I'll probably be doing a lot of work on that video. on Monday, weather permitting. We'll see. Stone video is just about done with shooting. Sisyphus just needs to get weighed, stamped, and sealed, and named, actually. And then all the footage except for, I think, the personal protective equipment, or PPE, portion of those videos is going to be done filming. And then I'll start editing all that. That other video I have coming out is going to come out first, and then the Stone series will come out second. And probably what I'll do is release it in parts, nice 10-minute digestible pieces, and then one long, probably hour-long cut. And I'll probably do something just a little bit different with these videos because they're going to be so sort of intensive in terms of the amount of information that's potentially being given, so they're just a little more digestible. I'll probably go through and actually take the time to timestamp them in the comments so people can, if they just want to go to the part where I'm pouring or the part where I'm taping the mold, that kind of thing, we can, they'll be able to just jump to that section and go, okay, cool, here we are. No promises there just yet, but that is definitely something I'm looking into and thinking about doing very strongly. And, those kind of videos, they take a long time because there's a lot of footage to get and there's a lot of editing that's going to go into them. And it's one of those things where, like, again, I don't get paid to do any of this. This is just like a thing I do as just kind of a fun hobby, which is why I've sort of stuck to making these weekly updates very just totally live, and there's no script, and it's all just one long shot. And then some of my other videos, like the reviews and things like that, those take time because there's tons of editing to do. I'll take out the ers and the ums and the likes. And I'm doing that with these other two videos I'm working on. And those things take time, and because I'm not getting paid to do them, it's one of those things where it's... To say I have a lack of motivation wouldn't be the right phrasing, but it's in the right realm of how I feel about them, where it's like, it's not that I don't have a passion for them, it's just that there are other things I could be doing rather than sitting there editing these videos for free. And maybe that's not the right mindset to have, but I'm just being honest. It's like, okay, I could go outside right now and I could finish up a few stones for these orders I have, which I'm getting money for, or I could sit in here and edit these videos that I'm not going to get paid to do the editing, or when I release the videos. Which, to be fair, is totally my choice and my option. I mean, I could have monetized my channel at any point, and I didn't and never planned to. So, I mean, it's all on me, but it's one of those things that it's like, I'm just talking here. I'm just hoping, you guys understand my mentality with all this stuff and why these videos tend to take a while for me to get out. And that it is just me doing them, so it's, it's just one person. I'm dealing with literally 5 hours of footage between two cameras. And that's not 5 hours of footage total, that's 5 hours of footage on camera 1 and 2 that I'm going through. And again, it's all my fault. I'm the one who chose to do it. But, just I know everybody's clamoring for it. Actually, nobody's asking about it, but in case you're wondering and you keep hearing me talk about it over and over, this is part of the reason why these things take time. It's just me, and I 9 times out of 10, when I'm like, oh, I've got a minute to do that, it's like, oh, wait, I've still got to be working on these stone orders, and customers always come first, let's just put it that way, versus the free footage and free time, It's just a hobby of mine, really, is the best way to put it. And I find it's a good way to contribute to the community as best I can in terms of those videos. These videos are mostly just kind of like vlogging, really, weekly vlogs, which I've talked about that before, and I'm not gonna make this in a video any longer to go into that. But hopefully your gyms are opening up. Hopefully they've opened up. If not, hopefully soon, and you can get back into action. Super excited to be back in the gym. Don't miss the drive, but I do miss the environment. I do miss being around fellow gym people. Seeing a lot of new faces too, which is great. And hopefully everybody else can get back on schedule just as soon as they possibly can. And, you know, I really don't know where I'm going with that. Doesn't matter. Thanks for watching as always, and look forward to those stone videos coming out, and the super secret video I've got coming out too. If you don't, then what's your excuse?